Welcome back to sunny Seattle, out of Maui.
Sir.
One of the beautiful things was that you got to invest a bunch of time prone surfing in Maui, and you picked up a couple toys along the way that we've been able to bring back and go behind the boat with. In this video, we're gonna walk through Armstrong Foils, all carbon setup. Is it worth it to get that versus some of the other products that you might have had? What is the difference in the experience in terms of how you foil and how you carve? So with that, Johnny, let's jump right in.
Right here, you've got the Armstrong 1550, larger wing, pretty good surf wing. And you got 72 centimeter mast, 232 tail stab back here, all carbon fiber, super light. This thing is awesome in the ocean. It pumps really well, rides nice and fast, and works well. I'm very curious to see what it does behind the boat. I think you'll have similar performance, but we'll get it out there and we'll test it. So I'm looking forward to it.
So Johnny, with the Armstrong, you know, we have all carbon coming down here in the mast, carbon in the wings. Now, let's talk a little bit about fuselage length. What is the difference in fuselage length? You know, if you make it shorter, what does that do?
Well, if you make it shorter, it makes everything a little more sensitive.
Okay. You
know, you've got a shorter fulcrum, so your input from the board to the foil is going to happen really quickly. So, you know, what I find is the shorter mast, it tends to respond a lot quicker. Longer mast, it takes a little bit more time for, you know, the canting of the board to respond with the foil. So, you know.
Okay. And then on these rear wings, one of the things that we talked about in our video on Foil Talk were guys cutting down these rear wings. Now this is smaller than like our slingshot. On the 84 we have the 48 centimeter back there. On our 76 and 68 we have a 42 centimeter back wing. This wing is significantly smaller than those.
Yeah.
What's that going to do for us?
Yeah, well this is the smaller wing, so it's more for, I guess, higher performance, quicker turning. But yeah, the smaller wings, they're gonna turn quicker, they're gonna be a little faster. I mean, in general, to think about the foil gear is that, you know, with smaller equipment, that's gonna go faster because you have less friction and surface area of the foil pushing you back. So, you know, how that works with the smaller stuff, it just makes it way more responsive and really quick.
Okay. And what other wings do we have? Great travel bag, get to cruise around with. It's a nice way. And did you actually check that?
Yeah, I checked this to and from Hawaii, no problem. Yeah, nice thing about Armstrong is the fit and finish of their foils is spot on. Everything's really great, tight. You get a bag that you can carry multiple parts and pieces. I keep all my wings in here. I have 2 fuselages, 2 mast setups, short, long, and yeah, all around it's an excellent foil setup. It's expensive, so you kind of get what you pay for, but ultimately, you know, these are some of the best crafted foils, I would say, on the market.
Yeah, and as you go to carbon fiber, you'll notice here, I mean, the fuselage slips through the center of this. It makes everything snugger. And when you're riding it, it just feels very, very together. And it's interesting, you know, note for people out there, Armstrong does not sponsor us. We're just riding these and tell you how they feel. And just new on our website this morning, if you live in Seattle, you can actually come out with John and I and demo the Armstrong foil, the slingshot foil. We also have the MFC. So before you make an investment of $1,000, a couple $1,000, you can go ahead and come out on the boat, try it out, and see what is the right fit for you.
Absolutely. We've got multiple wings, multiple masts, different platforms, like you said, MFC, Armstrong, slingshot. So yeah, we have a variety of things to ride, and that's the cool thing about the foils is everything, you know, different wing shape, it's all different characteristics. So it's unique and it's really tailored to just personal preference.
Totally. I mean, what I've found is so interesting. People think, like, what do you think of this foil versus this foil? You know what I think? I love them all. They're all
great,
fun.
yeah.
I mean, that liquid force up close to the boat on wave 1 is a really fun ride on the Austin King. The Slingshot 84 is a cruising bomber for second wave. The 68 slices up the front. These carbon solutions are so fun to ride too. So this one is the 1550, and this is towards the higher end in terms of size?
Yeah, all the companies make a handful of different wings. I would say 1550, it's kind of, you know, for a prone surf wing, it's on the larger size. They have a 1050, they have, you know, what's this? This is a 1200, CF 1200, so this is a little smaller. 1550 is kind of like your, I don't know, shoulder high. Once it starts getting head high, you want a smaller wing because you get so much lift out of this. But this is an all-around screamer. Guys in Maui, you know, they like it with the short mast, smaller stab,
short fuselage.
or short fuselage, short mast and fuselage, and it makes the whole thing super responsive.
Oh, they like the shorter mast when prone.
Yeah.
They want longer.
Well, it just depends what you want to do. If you shorten everything up, fuselage, mast, you get a really quick, super responsive board. Now, shorter fuselage, it might make pumping cadence really quick. It might, you know, like the best way I would describe it is it's really precise and you have very little low margin for error.
Gotcha.
So if you shorten everything down, it's pretty easy to screw up. You have little, you know, not much window for error, but yeah, so the longer, it's a little more user friendly.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing too about the construction on this, and this is the Armstrong 1200, and so when we put this on versus the 1550, you're going to see a little bit tighter radius in terms of the turning. It is so light. Like when you pick up carbon, and I would say not just Armstrong, but MFC, a full carbon deal, and you pick up that board, it's much lighter than what you'd feel on a Slingshot. Slingshot has solid carbon fiber all the way through, but this one's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, a lot of the foils, the lighter foils, you know, they have their carbon fiber, and then they'll have a foam core.
Yeah.
But you're right, some of them are the whole thing's carbon. It makes them a little more bomb proof. The other thing is depending on the application. So the real curious thing in comparison is behind the boat, because the reality though too is when you're surfing and you're pumping, you want things really light.
Yeah.
But as things get lighter, they can also get a little more squirrely. So like behind the boat, you get prop wash and you get chop, and you're gonna feel that a lot more in a carbon versus or in a lighter setup than you are in the heavier setup. The other thing is just inertia. Once you get going on these, the heavier is gonna carry its momentum better.
Exactly. And that's what I found with the Slingshot is like going through that prop wash a little bit more solid. That 84 had a little bit more speed to carry through, whereas the Armstrong just cuts a little bit more. You have to be a little bit more on your pins when you're going through the prop wash. It's really interesting. So I was wind foiling down at the gorge, and I was using a Slingshot, and let me tell you, I was glad, because as I was going through, coming along, bam, I hit the rocks, down goes Fraser, down goes the board, and the carbon, I was glad that that's solid all the way through. But again, different applications, you want a slightly different wing.
Absolutely.
So are we ready to get behind the boat?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's do it, Johnny.
All right.
So if you're used to foiling behind a boat on a non-carbon setup, the thing you'll notice immediately is how solid the carbon feels underfoot. And as you see me doing some turns here, it's just what comes naturally. You really feel as you turn the board, left and right, that it's solid underneath it. It's a little bit hard to explain, and so it's best to go ahead and try it. But bottom turns just feel a little bit more solid. And it doesn't matter really if you're on the first wave or if you're on the second wave. You know, you get this feeling of nimbleness. Now, I felt this, and you can see this in our MFC foil review. I felt the same way. The responsiveness that it comes from that first wave, you can really carve in and get some solid turns going against it. And you can't help but, you know, just be excited. So here I am going on a wave transfer through there, no problem. You do feel that the churn from the wake a little bit more as you go through, but if you're intentful about your pumping and you carry some speed, you're okay. You'll see I have a little wobble right there, but able to recover no problem. And really the thing to do that is just to be aggressive as you go through it. Coming back this way, no problem whatsoever. This 1550, you know, carries a lot of speed. And so, you know, as we switch over and get Johnny back there, you'll notice here just a real natural turning cadence, some big, you know, big cuts that come in the smooth water. The transfer there, notice that John's feet are actually a little bit further forward on the board than mine, and that's just he's a little bit more comfortable as an ocean foiler. I'm working on getting mine a little bit further towards the front, but I stand a little bit back, and that's kind of what I like to do. So see John come in here and just, you know, going across is no problem with just a couple pumps. And watch the bottom turns here on the heel side. It's just a real natural feel. When you come in and carve this board, the carbon, it really just holds the water in a slightly different way that is something that you just have to try for yourself. So Johnny, what's your review of that foil?
I love this foil, and the love affair is growing deeper and deeper by the ride. I can't even believe it. Army Armstrong, you do great work. It's just unbelievable. This foil carries all the speed you need. It's very smooth. It's not unpredictable, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Pumps really well, and it just really stays in the zone. So the 1550, it's official. Very good behind the boat.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube video. Come back soon and we'll do more things all about the water, foiling, and get ready for ski season.
Plain white tee?
Yeah, in my closet, that's all I wear. Plain white tees. That's my new go-to. It's not plain white tee. These are from like.
These are designer white tees.
No, they're from like. J. Crew V-neck.
Okay. You ready?
We just got a bunch of shit in the can, and now we don't have time to foil.
Oh shit! I was almost tipping in the water, and we're back.